Hi, this is the rebuild razor project for this Bic razor, and today we're going over this smooth surface transition from tangent to a dip, and then there's this variable chamfer that needs to be hand built that's tangent on this part of the surface, and then it's not consistent here. So we're going to be doing some nice surfacing. The first thing we're going to do is offset the surface to 0 to make a copy. And then we're going to offset again so that we've got it, another copy, and then hide one. We're going to hide the solid body because we don't need that. And then I've got the sketch here for behind this. It's off a little bit, so we'll be making sure things make sense. So the first thing we're going to do is map out this. So front plane sketch. We're going to do the center line or a midpoint. So we have that. We will, I'm just going to put some guides in here real quick. So we've got it. Great. All right, and then let's hide this guy real quick. All right, so now I can, none of these pictures are totally lined up. Doesn't matter, it's just going to be using him as a base reference. Trying to get the outermost spot here. Make sure this handle is horizontal relation so that when we mirror it, it's tangent and we don't get any weird creases. Make sure this isn't wavy and that the overall shape is right. It's kind of a soft transition, that we don't have any waves going on here. So then I think I can't hide this. Let's try. Yeah, no. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to hide, suppress this side, and then let's edit this guy. Let's put those down. I think that looks good. Let's bring up ours because it's a little bit different. So, because the shape is a little bit, I think that'll be good. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add in the lines here. For how these are gonna go. Let me just do this real quick. Okay, so I think that's actually pretty good. Horizontal. Make sure we get a nice clean taper. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's mirror this over so we have it. And then we'll be using this later for everything. So this is like our underlay. Perfect. And then if we want to, a neat trick is right click here and then sketch color. So I get like an orange. So yellow, blue. Let's do that. That's loud. Okay, so that's our sketch. And it's a little bit easier to see. So we've got this one here. So we need to have this surface sort of ends here and it starts to taper, and then we're going to need this offset surface. So we're going to start with this. So we need this outer edge, that height, and then a slice over here. So what we're going to do is front plane sketch, convert this and this, and then we're going to draw a line here. Okay, so that, and then we're going to trim this top part off, and then surface, trim, remove all of that. We want to remove that too. Oh wait, nope, we're keeping that. Sorry, that's confusing. We're keeping that. We need this edge and these edges. So now we've got this, and it's got a hole in it. Okay. So let's see here. Front plane sketch. Now what we need is we need this edge here. So we can't, I'm going to hide this, and ideally I'd be able to offset this body in 1.5, but because of the geometry it doesn't let me do that. So I'm going to do something that seems weird, but I'm going to trim this right, I'm going to make sure it just has to be as wide, oops, a little bit wider than this. And then, there we go. Just a little wider than here. Probably a good idea to do this. Yeah, my eyeballing it was not right. So I need it wider than this because we're going to trim this. And then I need this just at the bottom here, a little lower. Perfect. So then what we're going to do is, it's this other guy. We are going to surface, trim, and then we're just going to keep this. Nothing else. And then we're just using this. We're going to offset this in 1.5 that way. And then we can just delete that surface because we don't need it anymore. Oh, this is a body. We'll delete the body. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so now if you look at this, all right, we've got this and we've got this. I'm going to hide this for now. And then what we need to do, if I tried doing a deal already where it was just a boundary surface, tangent here and tangent here, but it didn't look right at all. So what we're going to do is on the right plane sketch, and I'm just going to lay these in, and then I'm actually going to convert this because it'll make life easier later. Make that for construction. Let me do that again because I didn't explain what I was doing. Convert entities. If you roll over, see that cylinder with the line? That means it's like from this view, it's the outermost edge of that surface because there's no break in that surface. So this is going to allow us, and we'll do the same thing here, convert, and then we'll make these construction lines. It's going to allow us to make it tangent really easily without it being weird because there's no surface break, and then we don't have to break that surface. Tangent. tangent, and we don't want to just leave it because we need to look at it to make sure. We want this to actually come back a little bit, and then we want this to come up a little bit. Yeah. Because we want it to drop down, but we want it to stay up enough. And then we'll see what things look like. Okay, so now we're going to do a 3D sketch because we need the outer ones. And we're going to go from here to here. And we're going to select the surface, hold shift, the edge, and then still holding shift here. We're going to do tangent base. And then we're going to do, for this, we can just do this outer edge, hold shift, tangent. So now what we can do is look from the side. We can see this. This needs to drop down more because it's rolling on the side. So this can get pulled back. We need it to still be tangent. So we're pulling it back, not all the way, and then pulling this back so that it's a nice consistent arc, but we don't want it like this because see how it's not even on the bottom, in the middle, and the top. We need it just to roll down so that tangent, that surface is nice transition. Okay, I think that'll be good. Yeah, and then we are going to surface or feature mirror. We're going to mirror it around the right plane. Oh wait, what am I doing? A sketch mirror. Do 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 do. Right plane. Sorry about that. Okay, we're mirror around the right plane. So now we're actually going to do a loft for this because it makes more sense. Loft, this edge to this edge. They're both going to be tangent. And then we've got our guide curves. So selection manager, this guy. Okay. All right, and then we are going to not have to worry because we've got the guide curves for changing the tangency because they really should be locking in, but we'll pull it back anyway. And then let's look at it without edges. So you can see now, do we have a little bit of a crease? Let's see, evaluate. Yeah, we got a little funkiness. Maybe. So you can see it's not totally smooth. Okay, so we are going to adjust that. We're going to delete the loft. And now that we have these, it's really easy because then we can just do sketch, 3D sketch, spline, and we're going to put it in here. And then let's see. Looks good. Okay, and then we're just going to edit it this way and make sure it's along the x-axis so that we can mirror it. Should be familiar for everybody. And that should keep it. I'm just looking at this. And then we're going to mirror this over. Perfect. Okay, now let's try this. Surface loft. And then we're going to do tangent, tangent, guide curves. Okay, and then we are going to pull this back a little bit so it drops down fast enough. There we go. Now it's nice and smooth. Worth it. Okay, that's a pretty smooth transition right there. So I think that is looking good. You can see this has dropped down. Okay, so we're going to roll with that. And then now all we have to do, let's turn on our edges again, is pull up that sketch from before. And you can see here, this is a little bit under, and then what we can do then is extend surfaces here. See, we'll see if it works. It should work. Maybe not. So what I'm actually just going to do is do a surface trim, so I don't have to worry about this. And then right plane, trim tool, keep this side. There we go. And then we're just going to mirror this guy over again. There we go. So now it's wide enough for us to be able to trim. So, well, it's okay. So now what we're going to do is actually it's not okay because it'll make everything later harder. Hide this. And then we're actually going to surface extend this down. And let these guys together. Okay, so now it's one. It's below, it's around all of that. Okay, that's a little painful, but it's okay. Front plane, sketch. I don't have time to redo this video. Convert. There we go. And then we are going to surface, trim, keep. There. So now let's hide these. You'll see we've got this nice surface that does just what we need it to do. Pretty nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is On the right plane, I'm going to add some guide curves, and then we're going to do a boundary surface. I'll just drop this one in so it's not a 3D sketch. And these will be just straight lines because it's not a complicated. There we go. And then 3D sketch. Just lines. We'll do one up here because it's transferring from flat down, just so there's no weird torquing. There's like a little bit of you can see a box around it. I just want these to kind of make sense how they're lined up. And we'll do another one right here for this twist, and that's probably more than enough. I'm kind of having it a little perpendicular with that curve. So it can follow up. And then we'll just mirror these guys over. The right plane. Okay. Surface, boundary surface. Oh, before we do that, we need to knit this and this, because you see when I did this boundary surface, it was selecting all the way. We're going to knit this so now it can just select that edge. Okay. Let's see if this fixes itself. Selection manager for this outside edge, because we're going to do both sides. There we go. Yeah, so those little green and pink guys will selection manager again with the multiple arrows to select multiple parts of a line. There, and then all you have to do, edge, tangent, edge, my computer hates this, tangent, and there you go, a very pretty, very nice surface. Let's save. So that's how you get this surface, and we'll end this video there.